Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest celebrity news. Jeff Lewis Live, reality TV. Oh my goodness. What a freaking bombshell the last 15 minutes of Jeff Lewis Live was. We are going to chat about it all, but especially I want to hear about you. There is no reason to recap this. Y'all have heard it. I will definitely go over it for you. If you are over on TikTok, thank you so much for joining live, or Instagram. Make sure y'all are hitting the likes, liking the screen, all the things that are very kind to do. Let's get into it all. Okay, real quick. Is anyone still watching the Flip Off? I kind of forgot about this show. So I did watch, I think, the first episode or two. This is the one with Christina on HGTV. Heather Dubrow was one of the judges. Jeff Lewis is going to be the final judge on episode 6, but I kind of forgot about the show. So I need to know if y'all still like it. Is it still worth watching? Do I just need to wait till episode 6 when Jeff Lewis is on? I don't know. I found it stumbling through something to watch this morning, which I ended up watching the episode 7 of Southern Hospitality, which I'll definitely chat about with y'all very soon. But I just thought about the Flip Off and thought, is anyone chatting about this anymore? Is it going to be a flop? Like, I feel like Jeff's been on a few shows as guests, and they've all been one seasons. What's the and I liked them all. Overserved with Lisa Vanderpump. I liked that. Jeff Lewis was on that episode with Tori Spelling. He was on that that cook-off show with what's the girl, whatever her name is. Anyways, where he tried to cook and whatever. The Flip Off. I don't know. I feel like there's 1 or 2 more shows. Anyways, we just need him back on TV in his own freaking show, right? 2026. Anyways, okay. So a Chumpette sent me this information. Karen, and I haven't seen anyone else chatting about it. Karen Huger, who should be recovering or thinking about what her upcoming sentence is going to be for the DUI. She was, convicted of 7 of 8 of the things against her in the DUI case from last March. But no, she's apparently going to be a soap opera star. Yes. So CBS, after like 25 years, is launching a brand new soap opera called Behind the Gates. And Karen Huger is in the trailer, and they haven't exactly said what her role is going to be, but she's going to be on the show. So very, very interesting. I didn't know she was an actress. I don't know that she is. I didn't know that she needed the money or the gig or another outlet to be on TV. I don't know. Y'all know I don't love the Karen Huger of it all. I think she's extremely cocky, which you will hear the word cocky later today when I chat about Jeff Lewis Live for darn sure. Because somebody else is very cocky today. They have a cock, but they're also very cocky. Anyways, just curious that the link is up on my Instagram story. That's where I usually put everything. So make sure you're following me there at Sarah from Texas Podcast. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. We are going to recap Southern Hospitality episode 7, which is the finale of their weekend in Las Vegas, celebrating Maddie Reese making her debut as a DJ there, which was very cool. But I definitely want y'all to get in comments. So at the very top of the comments here, I did put a link to come on, to ask a question, to give your opinions. I definitely want us to get in the comments on this one. I definitely want to know your thoughts. Okay, real quick. Andy Cohen is still on his Disney vacation. He is posting cute little videos, but still not showing his daughter's face. So I think we're kind of done. I think he's kind of made the decision to stop showing Lucy's face. He did kind of do a little quick camera face tour the other day, but lots of cute videos about that she's scared of like Donald Duck. She's scared of Minnie Mouse. She's scared of, who was the latest one he put on a story? I don't think she's afraid of Mickey Mouse or Donald. She's afraid of somebody, but not afraid of everyone. And it's really cute. I mean, Andy Cohen's like, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid. Daddy's always going to protect you from the Disney characters and everything in life. It was really sweet, really sweet. Okay, y'all are already getting in the comments about Karen Huger for sure. Probably, Lisa, it makes sense, says Karen probably filmed this before the sentencing. But if this is gonna be like a traditional, soap opera, they film very quick, and then there's a very quick turnaround. So, it's not exactly filmed, like, months in advance like most TV shows and such. So, I don't really know. Yeah, Pluto, yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Is she afraid of Pete? And I don't even know who is Pete on Disney. Like, my youngest kid is 15, so I am not into the Disney of it all anymore, but, okay, I am into Southern Hospitality. Season 3, episode 7. I watched another one this morning. Another one. Cocky, but without a cock. Grace Lilly is on my last nerve. First of all, whatever y'all said yesterday on the live, she's on Oswaga, whatever it is, drugs, mushrooms, she's just loopy, whatever it is. She is very full of her damn self. So, allegedly, she is besties with Maddie Reese. This is all about Maddie Reese. Everyone else is making, the whole weekend about her. And no, Grace Lilly is over here being late, doesn't go to the rehearsal, the sound rehearsal. She shows up late for her event, got this gorgeous, I have to give her credit where credit is due, this amazing, how old is Grace Lilly? Does anybody know? Like, I know TJ is like 33. I know Michaels is, I think, 21. I don't really know the ages of these people. They're just kind of that, Peter Pan ages, just like Vanderpump Rules, right? Anyways, so cocky, but she has this amazing black bikini on. It was to die for. But she finished the thing and she was basically like, that was the best part of the thing. I mean, just not apologizing. Basically, Joe Bradley, who is Maddie's boyfriend, is like, look, you're late. She's super stressed about this, and you need to at least apologize to her. And she's like, why would I apologize? Like, I'm the talent. Like, I showed up late. That's kind of what we do. So freaking cocky. I'm so over her. But anyway, she did sing her song, and it was kind of a banger. Okay, I said this on the last couple episodes, that Lake and Bradley were kind of flirting. They'd kind of been on a date. I wasn't sure if he's into girls, if she's only into guys. She said she's into everybody. If they just kind of forgot about it. Nothing ever happened. If Michael Beck had anything to do with the camera decision to put this hot AF kiss in slow motion, he deserves a bonus. I mean, it was so hot. I was literally like, yes, like Lake and Bradley, they're making out. I wanted them to go back to the hotel. I don't know, but I almost liked it that they made out like passionately in the hot tub. And then they just forgot all about it. And no one ever said anything about it. They just go on to dinner, just like everything is normal. Like, this was giving me everything I've been missing from Vanderpump Rules the last probably 4 to 5 seasons. Like, I felt like Vanderpump Rules, they were getting up there in age. I mean, they're getting like their titties done. And I don't mean just the girls. I mean, what's his face getting his boobs done. I mean, just talk about feeling old. Whenever they start reminding me that Tom Sandoval's like 42, 45 years old, I'm like, Jax. Anyways, it was so hot. But more than that, I just think this friend group, which I did a poll, and I think y'all are saying by a slight margin that the Vanderpump Rules group of friends is more fun than Southern Hospitality. So maybe I should have clarified. I mean, the original, when they were young, they didn't have kids. They hadn't, when Stassi was sassy, now Stassi's like married with 2 kids, not quite as sassy. Anyways, I thought they were the more fun group. But now, just based on this Las Vegas weekend, the way they dress to a T, the way they strut in slow motion, the way they had a themed dinner and all dressed up like a disco. Like, I was so here for it. Like, really, really fun times. What I'm not here for is Will's lack of acknowledgement when they basically come at him. Of course, Lake brings up the tea, which was kind of funny. She kind of set up Austin, and then Austin had to come out and say, well, we know someone, or I know someone that goes to the same law school with Will. And there's definitely rumors that he is not just cheated, but he's like banged other girls in the bathroom, and not just one, but others. he didn't even try to deny it. He just kind of sat there at dinner like, I'm on this reality TV show and they're calling me like Bravo guy and, making fun of me, like bullying me for being on a reality show. They're just jealous of me and Emmy. I mean, he didn't deny it at all, which I get. Don't get me wrong. I'm no Southern hospitality, Will, but I agree. People can make up absolute lies about you with absolutely no merit to them at all, and people will believe it. So it does get a little annoying there. I don't know that anyone gives a shit enough about Emmy and Will to make up that he's cheating on her. Like, why would they do that? Like, I was kind of rooting for them. And with this, I was just like, Lily just sits there like she doesn't know what to say. I think if I were her, I'd be like, defend yourself, like say something. And instead they just get up and leave the dinner, which it looks more like he's guilty or something. You know what I mean? It feels like like they had this conversation and maybe he admitted it. She doesn't want to admit it in front of all their friends. And now he's like, well, we've already had this private conversation. I love that. Khaki says, Will is a cheater, pumpkin eater. So I did do a poll on my Instagram story, and it's like 100% of y'all believing that Will is a cheater or has cheated or will cheat on him. So I haven't watched that yet, but I'm seeing a little bit of videos, and it's kind of making me want to see what's going on with Southern Charm. Because, I mean, Shep is, Shan M says, did anyone watch Southern Charm? The text that Shep sent Sienna. I am seeing a little bit about that. Like, she's basically coming out saying we weren't really dating or we hadn't really had the define the relationship talk or something. So, okay. Somebody send me a video or a picture of the Shep's cringe text. I definitely want to see that. Yeah, definitely Sarah Lee. Michael Riley says, Shep is a sap. Well, I think he's just a dickhead. Anyways, okay. Later in the show, at the same dinner, they do this thing where they go around to each other and basically say who they don't trust. And Grace Lily is appalled that most nobody at the dinner trusts her. And she's like, I'm really the most trustworthy. She was just so rude to Maddie. And they remind her, look, Maddie is the only one at this table that would stick up for you. Maddie is the one that gave you a chance with this song, with this, thing. And it was just, she's very cocky. Whole theme going on. Her cocky, Karen Huger, Jamie Kennedy cocky or sad. Like I think by the 15 minutes in, I was more feeling embarrassed for Jamie Kennedy. I don't know. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. Okay. Joe Bradley had the surprise for everyone last night. It was their last night of Las Vegas. He hosted a commitment ceremony between him and Maddie, who have only been dating 4 months, but he's allegedly been in love with her for 3 years. It was cute. It's kind of funny because Kristen Taekman, who is on the second hour today with Jamie Kennedy, is a huge Elvis Presley fan. So it's kind of funny that they had the chunky Elvis Presley, leading the whole wedding ceremony. I'm like, no, have the hot Elvis Presley. Like, I definitely like the hot Elvis Presley. I don't want to see chubby, poked up on, pills. The dude that just makes me think of him dying on the bathroom toilet at 43 years old. You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy. You do? Okay, we accept all opinions here. So I have to accept this. Let me take this in. Shannon says, I'm sorry, but I love Grace Lily. I've watched it from season 1, and she is just a free spirit and harmless. She's so lost. Bless her. I'm all for being lost, and you're right. I've only started from season 3, so admittedly, I don't have that history with her. I just felt like she said some really rude things. I think not giving credit and telling, saying that she was the star of the show. I mean, hello. It was Maddie Reese's name on the billboards. It was Maddie Reese's name all up and down the hotel. I mean, they even said, the DJ guy said, look, this is where everyone gets their start. And you blew it out of the water. Like, you did amazing. Maddie, to me, and I'm already getting the vibe that she's had issues. I think she has some addiction issues. She's had some other issues, maybe some ED stuff. Ongoing or in the past. I don't know. I'm already getting a vibe on season 3 that she's had some struggles in her life or teenage life or adult life, something. But she just seems so grounded, so grateful, so appreciative, and such a hard worker. She's not like sleeping in like Grace Lilly is and like, casually doing her makeup to show up at this event. I'm like, she gave you a chance to be on that song and to perform it here. Like, she didn't have to do that. She could have just been like, hey, this is my own DJ gig. You know what I mean? I don't know. I do love the name Grace Lilly though. Anyways. Okay, Christina. Wait, what? We are definitely going to chat Jeff Lewis. A lot of today's show is going to be about Jeff Lewis Live. So if you do want to join with me, just hit the button hit the link at the top that lets you come on live. You can ask a question or a comment. Definitely want to hear, or I see y'all all getting comfortable in comments on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, which I absolutely love. If you are watching the replay, all the live comments are available for you to view, even on the replay on YouTube. TikTok and Instagram replays don't go up. That's why if you want to join and participate, you got to come to YouTube. Christina says, I don't think Carney should go on Jeff Lewis Live anymore. He's always making sure she gets angry. Did you feel like she got angry today? I really don't. I mean, I think she took it in stride when he was calling her a lesbian with her lesbian contractors. I don't know. And plus, it seems like she's tagging them. It seems like she has a deal maybe to get a discount on this work, or she's got it. She just loves them so much and she really wants to promote female construction companies, that she wants to promote them. She's definitely including them in her cringe Instagram, as Jeff Lewis talked about. So I don't know. Let me know what you think though. I don't feel like she's mad at all though. I don't know. I don't. Okay, we will talk about it. So I'm going to recap it, but I feel like most of us do listen to Jeff Lewis Live. So I don't really want to spend so much time recapping so much. I think what we'll start doing is talking, talk about the big things, because I know there's a lot of us that are not able to watch Jeff Lewis Live or to subscribe to him because you don't live in the right country. Well, not the right country. Well, maybe the right country. Only North America, I think, allows the legal version to get to pay for SiriusXM. And now that the illegal copyright infringement videos are not going up on YouTube, a lot of people aren't even able to listen. So they only get those two podcasts that Jeff Lewis has issues twice a week for free. So we will chat about it. But most of this, because I think this is what most of y'all want, is a conversation about things. So either in the comments or joining me on live. So, thank you. Donna Maria says, I don't get to listen much, so I love your recaps. Thank you. Candace says, also, in my opinion, Annie is so annoying. Y'all are so opinionated. I love y'all's opinions. Okay. On the first hour was Carney Wilson and Jeff Lewis's brother, Todd Lewis. They open it up talking about Carney's kitchen remodel. It's a long process. God bless it, to work with Carney Wilson. I love her. She's definitely an artist brain, that kind of, all that kind of, I love her posts. They're very heartfelt. They're very sentimental. She's being promoting this, what is it called? Girl construction. What's girl work? I have no idea. It's something like that. It's something about, I don't know what it's called. Y'all remind me what the company is called. Anyways, it's taken her 4 months to pick out her countertops though. So I think I would be like, let's move it along, honey. Like, let's get this shit going. I think she took it with a grain. I think she took it fine. Like, I don't think she was really mad. I don't really know. You have a lot to say about Annie. Bondi says, Annie is annoying. They give way too much attention to these young staff members. They're so boring. Girl Flip. Thank you so much. That is the name of it. So we'll promote it here. Girl Flip. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. I appreciate it. Yes, Mayboo lives in London. She's not able to get the Jeff Lewis Live either. She says, I get my info from you now, Sarah. So not bad now, as it isn't what it was, but would be sad if it was a year ago. I don't know what that means. It isn't what it is. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways. Thank you, Debbie. She's like 156 are watching, but only 39 thumbs up. Please, please, please go. And on TikTok, make sure you tap the screen to like it. That gives me other people to let them know that we're here. Oh, wow. Y'all are so sweet. Jet says, most of the time, Sarah, I'd rather hear your Cliff Notes version of the show highlights than sitting through 2 hours of Jeff Lewis Live. It is a lot. Don't get me wrong. I was with a friend yesterday, And she picked me up from my mechanic because I had to drop my car off for $650 more worth of crap done. Anyways, and she was talking about when we can meet for lunch because we used to easily meet for lunch, even when I've been doing my podcast. And I'm like, well, and she doesn't listen to Jeff Lewis. And I'm like, I know. I was like, breakfast is a little easier on me. I was like, at lunch, I get a little stressed out because now I have 2 hours of the show to do. And then I go live at 3 Texas time. And, she's like, wow, 2 hours. That's a lot. And I'm like, yeah, it is a lot. I mean, I love listening, but it is way different listening to 1 hour than 2 hours for sure. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I missed cooking kibitz last night because, as y'all know, the lovers are super rude there, and I don't like them, taking over the comments of cooking kibitz whenever it says Sarah from Texas has joined, and I'm giving him likes and thumbs ups and stuff. But I was also at Body Pump. Deborah Carter says, Dr. Donna was on the Cooking Kibitz chat last night. Interesting. There's definitely something going on there. Definitely something going on there. Okay, so Todd is going to do a magic show, I guess, at ChumpCon. I guess he thinks he needs a $5,000 budget. Jeff is like adamant. No, dude, you've got like a $2,000 budget. Like there's not much. I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting that they're having this conversation live on the radio. I'm like, is this something like we need to hear? Like, I don't know. Anyways, okay, then he tells a story. So there's a lot of chatter about that, the magic show that he's going to do with the little people that Jeff wants him to incorporate, all the things. We've talked about this before. Todd and Carrie are very nonchalant about the Pepper stories. I do think they're funny. I do think it's very honest of them to share their struggles about Pepper. They have never said exactly what her medical issue is or whatever, but she, Carrie has definitely said that she has a, the handicap blue sticker on her car, for Pepper. They've definitely told us a lot of stories. It's just, some of them are concerning, like leaving your kid who has lots of issues about just roaming, leaving the house, but leaving her with a babysitter for 3 nights. I don't know. I almost feel like Todd and Todd's mom, I don't know. They never talk about Carrie's parents. I don't know if they're involved with the kids or not, but somebody that knows the kids really well. Like it sounded like this was almost like a newish nanny, or definitely somebody that had never stayed overnight. They'd definitely not done a 3-night trip with her. But she has to the nanny has to call Todd and Carrie, who are on this Valentine's trip out of state, and say, hey, I need to let you know that like Pepper woke up at 6 a.m. and climbed out of her bedroom window and went and knocked on the bedroom that Quinn was in and scared her, saying, hey, it's your new nanny. First of all, Quinn is a couple of years older than her, but that still could have terrified Quinn. But also, what if Pepper didn't just do that? What if the nanny didn't hear her? What if? Like, I don't know. They're just so nonchalant about it. And I understand, I love and respect that, like you said, especially when we have young kids and especially when we have a child like Pepper, it is good for us to get out and be like husband and wife. But just, I'll tell you, some of the stories are a little extra concerning to me. And I know a lot of y'all get opinionated in my DMs about that too, especially the Hawaii trip that he shared recently. You know what I mean? Heather Chessman says, it's one thing if your child is just very eccentric, but to be laughing about a disability is very uncomfortable. And it's not just that. I mean, like some of the stories, that the things she says, but the reason they've made it clear, the reason she says the things she does and really has no filter is because of this medical issue. So some of y'all have alluded and suggested what it might be. I don't remember what it was called, and I don't want to go into that because it's not my business. They have chosen not to say it publicly. So I respect that. But the fact that they do tell these stories where she could absolutely get hurt or hurt somebody else and just kind of blow it off is a little bit interesting. You know what I mean? Krista said there's very concerning lack of supervision for Pepper. And I think it's mostly when they go out at night, when they have a sitter, when it's not them. Like only you can know your child super well. Only you know. But there's things that any kid can do for the very first time, right? It's just they're very nonchalant about it, you know? I mean, I think Jeff was kinda like as soon as I was listening, I was like, "Okay, well, the alarm wasn't on because the alarm would have went off." I mean, he was like, "Look, we've got locks. We lock her in her room so she doesn't go in and overeat. She doesn't get food from the refrigerator. She doesn't climb out the window. She doesn't take a bath in the middle of the night." I mean, these are all just stories that she's told us, you know what I mean? That they've told us. But the fact is, and Jeff brought up, well, your house alarm wasn't on because otherwise it would have went off. And like it should have been on. If this is a nanny that is not with your kid ever for the first time for 3 nights, they need to have the alarm on. First of all, I mean, I think the alarm, if you have alarm, I think it should be on all the time. You know what I mean? Candace says, do we hear about the developmental issues or we just hear about the stories? Oh no, they talk about, she's talked about medical stuff. She has something with her throat where she gets choked on food and she's choked on food at school, things like that. So there's a lot of things they've alluded to. They've just never said exactly what it is. I think a lot of y'all have experience with this and y'all have talked about what she might have, but I don't believe I've ever heard Carrie or Todd say exactly what it is, but they've definitely alluded to something. You know what I mean? They seem to talk. Mayboo says they seem to talk about her as just a funny kid, not really mentioning her disability. Not sure how to cope, but it wouldn't let her roam as much. Yeah, they definitely mentioned the disability thing because she talks about having the thing, the card and like people looking at her like she looks fine. She's not in a wheelchair. She doesn't have a broken arm. She doesn't, and it's like, okay, disabilities can come in all different, you don't have to look like you have the disability if you have something going on inside. You know what I mean? Jordy, wait, what? That's alarming. Jordy says Pepper will get out and get pregnant by 14 if they don't watch her better. I worry that a lot of things can happen to her. And, they always joke as if, oh, she can take care of herself. I'm like, isn't she like, is she 10? I feel like she's 10 and Quinn is like 12-ish. I'm not real sure. You know what I mean? Okay. Basically they end the show with that. I mean, they're talking about teeth and Monroe lost a tooth last night. How nobody has shared with Jeff that there's a pillow that you can hang on your door. Like even my kids had this pillow when they were little. But Todd's like, oh yeah, we've got the pillow, the tooth fairy pillow. You just hang it on the door and then we put the money in there. You take the tooth out. I'm like, why aren't they sharing this stuff with Jeff? Like they're just letting him like free for all and figure out all of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. The second hour, Jamie Kennedy is on with Kristen Taekman. So for maybe a week and a half, how long has it been that Jeff has talked about this complainer chump that basically at one point he said they had complained to 3 different people. They said it was Annie, Michael Beck, and Kelly Dodd. Now we know more people that she's complained to, or at least according to Jeff. But y'all would started telling me that you thought it was MJ. Well, finally, a couple of days ago, I'm like, maybe I'm getting convinced that it is MJ because she is also usually on almost always with Jamie Kennedy. And today it's not her, it is Kristen Taekman. So we had this conversation in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. And some of y'all were like, oh, well, she's a realtor. Maybe she can't get away. And I'm like, oh no, of any chump, MJ is going to do whatever she has to do to get on that ChumpCon. Like it's April. Like she would get all of her ducks in a row, all the weekend, her kid taken care of, all that stuff. And she was on the original 15 list. Okay. So listen to this. Kind of awkward. I mean, Jamie Kennedy, first of all, do you think Jamie Kennedy can sell tickets to ChumpCon on his own? Like, does he have enough fans that whether or not they give a shit about anyone else, are they going to buy a ChumpCon ticket because of Jamie Kennedy? I personally don't think so, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts. If anyone wants to join me, hit the I'll put the website up again. All you do is click on it, and you will come up to give me your thoughts or ask a question. So it starts off. He says, basically, I'm getting all these DMs asking me why I'm not coming to ChumpCon, and I don't know what to tell people. Like, am I invited? I'm like, dude, we know you sleep till 30 minutes before the show starts. We know you don't listen to the show. We know you're all about you. But by now you should know that you were invited to ChumpCon or not. And later in the show, you admit that you and MJ had a text conversation saying, hey, were you invited to ChumpCon? No, I wasn't. Oh, were you invited to ChumpCon? No, I wasn't. Very cocky, very awkward. Kristen Taekman, if we had video, I can just see her just sitting there like, oh my God, I'm not invited, but I'm not the one complaining. I'm not the one asking why I'm not invited. It went on and on. Like, he was literally like, why am I not invited? Like, what number am I on? And Jeff's like, well, I think we just hired number 18. So Ryan Bailey was just hired the other day. I think it's 18, counting Jeff and counting Michael Beck. But Jamie is shocked. He's shocked that he's not invited. He's like, this is what I do, Jeff. I sell tickets. I've been an OG. I come on a lot. I used to come on your show when it was at the house. And I'm like, yeah. Okay. Michael Riley says Jamie is stinky. So how do I say this? Okay. He's not for me, right? His humor isn't for me. If he came to Houston, I wouldn't get a group of us chumpettes together and say, hey, let's all go see Jamie Kennedy. I wouldn't. Physically, he grosses me out. He does look like he stinks. He does look like he doesn't take a shower enough. He's admitted he doesn't take a lot of showers. No interest in that. I also think he's so freaking cocky. He just is annoying to me. I feel like he really thinks a lot of himself. And especially now that his girlfriend is a part-time nanny from Monroe, I feel like he thinks he's got like 2 feet in with Jeff. And he's appalled that he's not part of ChumpCon. I mean, I think he thinks, well, we were at dinner with you and MJ and I think Cynthia and Crystal, and we kind of all thought we were going to get invited to ChumpCon. And then when some of us didn't get invited, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Robin Bigelow says, I can't stand Jamie. Can't believe Jeff likes him. Well, that could change, right? Where Are My Keys says, I'm shocked he'd want to be on the list, but he wants the money. Remember? He wants the money, but he also doesn't want to not be included. Like, he's dying. But even when that caller called in, which I wasn't opposed to, the caller calls in later and says, hey, I've got an idea. Everyone that comes on your show says, I want to go to ChumpCon. I want to go to I mean, even Bella Thorne was like, I want to go just to see ChumpCon. Like, I just want to be there as a fan. Somebody else said that. A lot of people have said, I just want to go to ChumpCon. I think a lot of chumps want to go. And if Jeff agrees, hey, you get yourself, maybe I'll comp your hotel. We don't know. We got to see where the ticket sales are. But no requirements of you, but go to everything, go to one thing, just sit in the audience as a live event, whatever you want to do. But we know those people want to be there and want to be included because they are Chump. They are on Jeff Lewis Live. Like, they have fans. But Jeff admittedly can't hire everybody. You know what I mean? So I don't think he has. Dory says Jamie hasn't been to any event, has he? I don't feel like he has. He hasn't been to any events that I've been at, but he's also, I think he's so cocky. I keep saying the word. I think he's so cocky and egotistical that he feels like, look, I put on live events. I sell my own tickets just as myself. The fact that you're not inviting me and paying me, and here's the drum roll. We finally get an amount. Jeff finally tells us exactly what every single chump is making. So as we know, it is favored nations, which means OG Shane. If Shane's getting paid, I don't know if Shane might be paying. Yeah, I'm assuming he's getting paid. $10,000 for the weekend. Every single chump is getting paid $10,000. Like crazy. Christina says, TikTok just told me that you're live. Yes, I am live on TikTok. Anyways, ew. I I've never seen his feet. Jet says, besides the dirt between his toes, Jamie bugs me with this fake act, like pretending to be shocked and the whispering to Jeff. Yeah. And I don't like whenever his girlfriend first got hired by Jeff as the nanny, and he was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to keep all the secrets to myself. Like, I'm not going to talk about anything that Alyssa tells me. That's all he wants to do is tell the stories, just like he spilled the beans, which is cute. But it's like, okay, you want to let us know that you've got the in. He is such like a 7th grade boy. He's like, oh, Alyssa told me that Monroe likes to vacuum the back of her car on the way to school. Okay, for one, we now know that she is driving him to school, driving Monroe. We know that. I think Jeff has told us that before about the peanut allergy story, but he definitely wants to be included, and he is definitely putting Jeff in a super awkward position to tell him what number he's going to be invited. And if he was the next one, like we knew Ryan Bailey, he told Ryan Bailey, look, you are next on the list. I really believe that Jeff and Shane and Michael Beck have put together a list, and they've got their wish list and they've got their number. They know who is next. And clearly MJ was on that list and got bumped when she started complaining about the money, complaining about it's a lot to ask. BravoCon paid me more. Well, I don't know why they were there for BravoCon, because when all of Shaws of Sunset were included, except for Mike, at 2022 BravoCon, there was a lot of talk. A lot of us thought that the Shaws Sunset reboot was going to be announced at BravoCon 2022, and it was not. So I'm still not sure why they were included, because at the same year, what's the show? Not Family Karma. They were there. The show that was the Friends in Paris. I liked that show, and they were not included. So they were not at BravoCon, and that was a show on Bravo TV at the time. Okay. Real Friends in Paris or something like that. Was called that? Is that what it's called? Deborah says 10,000 is so much. Okay. Who can do the math? I don't have a phone. 10,000 times 18. Is that $180,000 or is that $18,000? No, it can't be $18,000 because that's only 8,000. Is that $180,000 that are paid just to the chumps? I'm assuming, and I have no idea, I'm assuming they have included in the deal the hotel comps for each of them. I have no idea how food's going to work out, how the flights are going to work out. I don't know. I think Family Karma got nixed though, didn't it? Meg says, bring back the Paris show and the Family Karma. I thought the Friends in Paris show was actually really cute. Wait, what? Oh, Heather's like, you deserve at least 10,000. You're one of our favorite chumps. Yeah. You want to come in? Uh-oh, Luna wants to come in. They can't see you, Luna. They can't see you. Oh, sweet girl. $180,000. So that's a lot, right? So basically 10,000. I mean, Jeff really wants a lot of people. I think most people going to this event would be happy with 10 to 15 chumps there. I don't know. There are a lot of events, but all these same chumps are going to be at the event. So it's kind of like at the end of the day, I almost think as a fan, it'd be fun to be like, okay, if I bought a ticket for everything, then I see these 5 chumps at the pool party, I get to know them. Then I see these 5 chumps at the Doug Buden brunch. Then I see these 5 chumps at the whatever. Then the live event would be everybody. You know what I mean? Or everyone could just go to everything. Debbie says, why does MJ complaining surprise Jeff? He must be deaf to her constant whining and moaning. I don't watch when she's on and she treats her husband like dirt. Why'd she have a child with him? Well, I don't know anything about that. Why'd she have a child with him? Give me a second. I need to go let my dog out because she won't go out whenever I start my show. Go, 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 go. She normally loves sitting by my feet, but now lately she kind of wants to get out halfway and leave. Yeah, I like the Paris show too. Aw. Thank you, Robin. Robin's like, Sarah is our chump, the best chump, keeping us up to date with all the chumps. Anyways, Sarah says, I think Doug and Ryan could be on every day and still be interesting. Well, I definitely don't agree with that. I don't need anyone on every day except for Jeff and Shane, maybe. Jet says Jeff should learn from BravoCon 2 years ago where NBC lost money, then suspended it. He'll learn the hard way. He's aiming too big. 2 years ago? Which one? Oh, you think they lost money in 2023? And that's why they didn't have it in 2024? I can't imagine they lost money. I mean, shit, I spent a shit ton there. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Jeff definitely, I mean, I have opinions on this because obviously I feel still very betrayed on what Jeff, said that I used his name when I was, getting the promotional stuff for my live event, that I was making money on the event, false, that I said his name to use his name, false. So I still have my emotions about that, okay? But the fact that she was, I guess, caught red-handed with this app, this whatever that app is called, reselling all of these products that she had clearly been given as gifts or in like a goodie bag for something. I mean, and she just blew it off. And I'm like, why? Like, why are you giving her a break for that? Like, that is the worst. Like, if I had resold the product. So for season 1 Hollywood House Lift premiere, Leah Black pretty much sponsored the whole goodie bag. It was a Leah Black fanny pack, and it had all Leah Black products inside. Well, I had nothing to do with that. I didn't make it, whatever, but I promoted the heck out of those products just as a thank you for obviously me being invited by Chef Stu, but also that Leah Black gave this cute goodie bag because it was a lot of great products and I loved it. I was appreciative, right? But if I would have put those up for sale, like, wait, what? Like, no. The season 2 Hollywood House Lift premiere party had a huge bag. I mean, the Hollywood House Lift black tote that it came in, the Leah Black eye patches. I mean, tons of products, right, were inside of that. Like, I didn't sell that shit. I didn't, like, he really, thank you. Chris is like, you were falsely accused and scapegoated, Sarah. It was total BS. It was very hurtful, personally and professionally. I mean, you talk about never coming up from that. I mean, he fucking blew me in the water. Like he, anyways. Maybu says, but that's the point. You asked Jeff to be called Jeff Lewis Obsessed, and he was very keen. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, he was well, the first thing I asked him was Jeff Lewis Stalker. Then I changed, and he agreed. But yeah, anyways. Jet says the overhead on these events is huge, and it gets unmanageable with all these stars. Like the talent is what bleeds the most money, so you should keep them smaller and more intimate. I just think that it's going to be a lot to keep up with. I do believe that all these chumps are required for the $10,000 to come to everything, which I understand, but it's going to get, it's a lot of chumps. That's like, it's almost like 5 brides at a wedding, like, all the people, and it just seems like a lot. Jamie was adamant. Like, I'm so curious to know if y'all thought Jamie was cringy, practically begging Jeff, look, tell me why I'm not on. Like, why am I not worth being paid to be at ChumpCon? Like, I deserve the $10,000. I can sell tickets for you. Like, this is what I do. It was bizarre, to say the least. So they kind of die out. But then at the end, Jamie kind of brings it up again. I think he knew, like he had said, he came with a list, he had notes, all this stuff. So he brings up MJ. He's like, look, she's my OG. I ride hard for her. Jamie acted like he didn't know that she was originally on the list and then she was bumped. Now, I don't believe that at all. I feel like he absolutely knew. I feel like Jamie and Mercedes have been talking all the last week and a half or so, like, why aren't we on together Friday? What's going on? Are you on the outs? Are you busy? Like, what's going on? It wouldn't shock me at all. So at the end of the show, Mary McFadden says, watch, Jamie won't be on again. I'm telling you, mark my words. I said this in the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. If Jamie is not included in ChumpCon 2025, I feel like he's going to be extremely hurt. His ego is going to be on fire. I feel like he is going to out Jeff. He is going to be too busy for Jeff Lewis Live. He's going to act like his $500, it's not worth it to wake up and like, take an Uber bike down the street. You know what I mean? And then that's going to be super interesting for his girlfriend, who's a part-time nanny for Jeff's daughter. Like, talk about muddying the waters. I feel like it was a long time coming with Jeff and MJ. He made it clear at the end, look, I want MJ to be at future Chump Cons. We don't even know that there will be a future Chump Con. I mean, let's be clear. Jeff might be like, that was a lot. Jeff has admitted the reason he doesn't do 2 live events in one night, like a 7 p.m. and a 9 p.m. or whatever, he's like, no. He's like, we do the VVIP before. That's an hour. Then there's a 30 or 40-minute break or an hour. And then we do the live event. Then we do a VIP picture, meet and greet. Like, it's a lot. Like, he's exhausted. It's a lot of being on, like, you're taking pictures. I mean, I've stared at him. I've watched him go around the room. He is so good at making everyone feel appreciative. Feel appreciative to be there. He's very charismatic. He makes everyone truly feel welcome. And I think he is so appreciative and so grateful for his fans. That's exactly why he does that. You know what I mean? Heather says, Jeff always shits where he eats. Oh my God. No. Oh my God. Beverly says, Jamie will run over to Heather McDonald on the podcast. Shall we bet on this? Oh my God. Would you just die? I don't think he would go that low. And I don't think he would. Yeah, I don't feel like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. So Lincoln the Golden says, how much do these people usually make for appearing at an event like this? Is $10,000 the going rate? I don't have a clue. So, excuse me. I do have the burps from being on my weight loss medication. They did allude to the fact that a lot of BravoCon people got 15,000. I don't know if that was everybody. I couldn't tell. What did y'all think that Kristen Taekman was saying? Could y'all see that Kristen Taekman was acting like she got more or less money? I felt like Ultimate Girls Trip had just come out, but she hasn't been on Real Housewives in years. And she since then moved to New York. Real Housewives of New York. And then since then she moved to LA. So maybe she made less money. I mean, she definitely wasn't the biggest star like, Tom Sandoval, or, she wasn't the most noteworthy or something. You know what I mean? Jet says, none of these people making $10,000 for ChumpCon make 1 penny at an event outside of Jeff Lewis Live. Well, I mean, there are people like Ryan has a podcast. I mean, even Kristen Taekman said, well, aren't there other people that's their livelihood is selling live events too? I mean, Zach Noe Towers is going. Is Jade going? Like, she's a comedian. What's the list? I don't have the list in front of me. So they do. But Jamie was just overly cocky, in my opinion, like awkward. And then he brings up that he's like the fat girl at the club. I was just like, dude, like no. And he was basically saying, like, I'm the girl that's like waiting to be picked. And, about 10 o'clock, she's staring at you. By 1:30, 2 in the morning, you're like, okay, come home. Like, maybe Jamie will be invited last minute. Like, he'll be like a pity invite. Like if somebody gets COVID or something. And I'm like, you can't just have someone come in last minute, because to me, you need to know who's on the list before you'd want to buy a ticket. You know what I mean? It does. Candace says, it sounds like at dinner that Jeff promised those 3 or 4 people, and one of the 3 has been invited. Yeah, Cynthia Bailey. So, well, I do think they make money. Sarah Lee says, no way the old Bravo people are getting 10,000 for an appearance. But this isn't just an appearance. It's a whole 3-day weekend. So I definitely think for a 3-day weekend, if there was something like a Chump Con, like a BravoCon, they are. Michael Riley. I don't think Jade's probably ever made 10,000 in her life. Didn't she have a house? Yeah. Bondi says, how is it that there are 18 chumps going and only about 6 seem to keep coming on the show every week? Same people all the time. I mean, I know, like even Zach Noe Towers, he's on again, I think Monday. It's like, it is the same people. I did recognize or hear one name. I have no idea who it is. There is a new person next week, but I do feel like it's a lot of the same people on every single week. And one of the ones that's coming on every week isn't even invited to ChumpCon. And I don't think she's going to make the cut, Sarah Colonna. But she's coming on every single week. You know what I mean? Oh, good point. Sarah says, do you think they'll be sharing rooms? Oh, 3 nights. Isn't it Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night? I do not think they'll make him share a room for 3 nights. But that's a lot of people. The more people he gets, that's a lot. Heather says, we need more funny and charming. Cynthia's nice, but boring. I do think she's boring. I just think of Doug, charming, funny, he lets someone else be the star of the show, but yet he can definitely fill in as needed. We definitely need more. Who are some ideas? It has to be somebody in LA or comes to LA a lot. Has to somebody that doesn't have a Monday through Friday job. Like they have to be available 9 a.m. California time. You know what I mean? I think Todd was funny today, but again, cocky. Like he's just like cocky. He's like, it's my show. I'm opening in Las Vegas. It's my dream. And I'm like, dude, you are not ChumpCon. Like you're his brother. Robin says Todd was good, or today was good on the first hour with Todd. He's funny. And he's definitely got fans. And, the hot toddies, Carrie's fans have a couple different names. Yeah. I think John Hill would be an excellent, although I don't know that John Hill would be great with fans. I think he has a resting bitch face all the time. And I think he wouldn't be so engaging because I think he doesn't love all that fan interaction. And I don't think he would like 3 weekends of it. So it's a very special chump that you have to have. Is Carney Wilson part of it? Who has a list of the 18? Does anyone have a list of the 18? Oh, yeah. Dana Maria is like, how much would he have to pay Fortune Feimster? No way she would spend 3. She doesn't need to. She wouldn't want to be away from her wife that much. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Okay. Cheryl says it wouldn't be ChumpCon without Todd and his wife. I've been at several events with Todd and Carrie. They kind of stick together. I wouldn't necessarily say that Carrie always looks like she's having the best time, in my opinion. And I think they're both nice and funny on the show, but I don't know that she's necessarily 3 nights worth of fan interaction. I think it's going to be a lot. I think a lot could happen based on this weekend. Zoila. Okay, so for those that were at the last event where Zoila was on the radio on the live panel, I haven't really heard. Was she good? Was she boring? Did she talk? Was she funny? Was she fun at the pictures? Was she interactive? Was she chatty, or was she more reserved? Like I haven't really heard much about Zoila. Somebody did say, Candace says, I would love John Hill to show up with Kelly Dodd. Yeah, because they definitely have a feud. Okay, somebody said this morning, I think on one of my YouTube comments, that Kelly Dodd is telling her fans that she is going to video all of ChumpCon for them and give them all the behind the scenes. So I don't know if she's run that by Jeff Lewis or not, but I can tell you, I don't think he's going to be okay with that because her fans overlap a lot with Jeff Lewis Live fans. And if she's telling them, hey, don't worry, I'm going to video everything for you, then those people are going to be like, okay, fine, then we won't buy a ticket. So if she's already telling them 2 months before, hey, I'm going to video all this and post it up for you. Jeff asked me to remove some videos from his live event because he was like, no, I want to respect that only everyone there saw it, even though everyone recorded it. He didn't want it posted. You know what I mean? Deborah says Kelly Dodd did say that. When did she say that? In case anybody wants to go and watch her, what are her fans called again? I don't remember what her fans. Zoila's got to be in the early 70s. I would say she's probably 72-ish. It's a lot for her to be, it's a lot for her to be. She's got to be around 72-ish for some reason. Mike O'Reilly says someone needs to drop that in Jeff's DM box about Kelly. Oh, people tattle on everybody. I'm sure 400 people have already DM'd him about Kelly. Her smashers. Yes, her smashers. Ooh, I've heard other people say that. Sarah says it seems like Jeff is scared of Kelly. Mama Judy says Kelly will put it behind her paywall, anything for money. Yeah, she's gonna end up making, putting it up there. Who knows? Her fans are called dickheads. Sarah. Sure. Oh, it's not only that. It's not the 10,000. It is the ego. That is what Jamie is bummed about. He's like, how do you not want me at ChumpCon? I'm going to sell tickets. Like, people would come. They're DMing me going, why aren't you and MJ there? I'm like, are people really asking for him and MJ? I feel like, no, not me. You know what I mean? Candace says, I'd take $10,000 for 30 days worth of work. Oh my gosh. Okay. The rest of the story was pretty much that, but at the very end, he basically says, he's put up boundaries that not only was MJ complaining to him, but she got bumped because she was on it, but then she was complaining about the money. She was complaining it's a lot to ask. Basically, you're only paying $10,000 for the weekend and I've been paid more. But also, I think he's embarrassed that she didn't just bring this to him. She complained to Monica Casey. She complained to Annie, and was it Michael Beck and somebody else at a party? And then he's already said that it was Kelly Dodd, that she complained to Kelly Dodd. So maybe he got it wrong and it was Monica, not Kelly Dodd. I'm not really sure. Oh, Margaret says, many people said that in the comments today about Jamie. Go back and check. He's got fans, maybe not here. Okay, so definitely on the coffee picture is where people on Instagram, JL Jeff Lewis, when they take the picture every day, people definitely put up when they've got strong opinions about the guests that are on. So for sure. I don't know. I've never looked because I don't want to go see Jamie Kennedy. LTD says, I don't think Jamie gets how expensive the tickets are. His tickets are like $75 for a show. Yeah, I mean, are his exactly. Because yeah, you can buy just a ticket, but you're not going to, I mean, I'm not flying myself to Vegas. I'm not paying for a hotel, the food, the clothes, being away from my family, the airport fees, blah, 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 for just buying a ticket to the live event. I mean, it almost makes sense that you're going to want to almost do everything, right? If you live in Vegas, you might just show up. You know what I mean? But I think it's a lot for Jamie to think, oh, my fans would buy a ticket for this. And I'm like, I mean, at $3,000, like $3,700, I don't know. I did see that podcast. I thought, why are they together? Talk about clawing to stay relevant. And I used to love Tori Spelling, but it's just gotten sad at this point. Heather Chessman says, I saw Tori Spelling on a podcast with Teresa Giudice yesterday. He has dropped her as well. And that's because they're all under the Herd App Media. So when you're under a podcast company, whatever you call it, Herd App Media, they always have the same, they promote each other on each other's podcast, right? So that's why, it's because Teresa Giudice and Tori Spelling are on the same. They're both with Herd App Media. So yeah, but it sounded like at the end he said he was laughing about Jamie, but I'm telling you, mark my words, if he is not included in ChumpCon 2025, Jamie's going to be pissed and he might just rebel. He might be like, F you, Jeff. That's embarrassing. I think he's embarrassed. Again, I think this is an ego thing. It is not the 10 grand. I don't think he needs that 10 grand at all. But he definitely said that MJ, he wants her on future Chump Cons, but I don't know. I think he should look at the history of that app. And I think if Jeff has those strong opinions, then that app should be a big, especially with the raising the price of the purse, like right after the fires. She's got time to go and micromanage that selling app. What's the app called? I don't know what those apps are called. The selling app, whatever it was, starts with a P. She's got time during the fires with, her son and her real estate job and maybe a reboot of Shaws of Sunset. And she's going to go and raise that price from $1,500 on that purse to $10,000. Poshmark, yeah. And she's got like 1,000 items on there. It's not like she just threw up something. She's got like a lot of stuff on there. You know what I mean? I mean, Sarah says, I've never heard anyone say anything positive about MJ. The first time I met her, I would say she was nice, but I think as she became a regular on Jeff Lewis Live, I think her ego has definitely been different. She was definitely a different person the last time I saw her at the season 2 Hollywood House of premiere party. And I've said it before. I said it immediately. Maybe she was distracted. She definitely seemed like she had something else on her brain. I have no idea what was going on, but she and her friends seemed like they were definitely distracted. Oh, for sure. Bond says, do you think they just orchestrated this whole Jamie thing to stir up interest? Well, I think Jamie comes with an agenda. He definitely wants his name talked about. He definitely wants his ratings to be super high. He doesn't care if people hate him. He doesn't care if he says that I was the fat girl at the club. He knows when he says shit like that, people are going to come in the comments. He doesn't care. He is willing to sell himself out there to get his name in the comments, get people talking, maybe get Reddit blowing up, saying, oh my God, Jamie talked about the fat girls in the club. And that's going to get people to listen to him. He doesn't care. So I definitely think he came with that agenda. I definitely think he and MJ had a interesting conversation about why are neither one of us invited? You know what I mean? So exactly. Vero says almost 300 viewers and only 80 likes. Please hit the thumbs up button on YouTube. It would really help. Please tap the screen on TikTok and hit the thumb on whatever it's called. I mean, I haven't heard anyone. LTD says, is anyone listening to MJ and Liot's podcast? Which that's going to be interesting too, because now MJ and Liot are in bed together with this podcast about, psychics or, whatever. So interesting. Please hit the like button. Thank you, Cecily. Okay, well, I will see y'all on Sunday night. If you're an Instagram subscriber, I will see you at 7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram Live. Also, I'll be putting up a podcast that day. I'm going to speak with a GI nurse practitioner who's going to answer all your questions. It will not be live. So if you have questions about anything GI, from mouth to anus, basically, anything in the gastrointestinal, whatever, she's also going to talk fitness and weightlifting. She's also can answer questions about hormone replacement therapy. So send me those questions at AskSarahFromTexas@gmail.com. And that podcast will go up Sunday at Sarah from Texas. Okay. Thank you so much for joining live. Make sure you are hitting the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to me everywhere at Sarah from Texas podcast. And I will see you Monday, same place, same time. Bye, Chumpettes. Bye, Instagram.